This is the Fox 5 News Block.
Good afternoon. We're following several major stories at this hour. Disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein now facing a third trial in New York. The detail on the timeline of when that's likely to take place, and developing news on the federal takeover of the Washington, D.C. police force. Why President Trump is now looking to extend the move even longer. Good afternoon. Thanks for being with us. I'm Steve Lacey. Welcome to the News Block. Those stories in just a moment. But first, let's take a live look outside right now. Rain's on the way, but well, I guess it is getting a little bit cloudier out there this afternoon. Let's check in with Audrey for a look at the forecast. And hot and humid once again, that's for sure.
Definitely more humid, Steve. We had temperatures that have been pretty warm over the last couple of days, but it's been nice and dry. Now the humidity's been building in, and that's making for heat index values in the 90s in many spots. The actual temperature is 84 in Islip, 89 in Bridgeport. It's 88 in Central Park, 91 out at Newark. It's 77 in East Hampton. Monticello cooled down to 75 because of some rain that has already come through that part of the region here. Our dew points are reflecting the humidity that we're feeling across the region. A lot of numbers are in the upper 60s to low 70s, which is very uncomfortable. So when we factor that in with the current temperatures, we have heat index values into the 90s right here in New York City, as well as Newark, even down the shore in Belmar, even up in the Hudson Valley. It feels like 95 in Poughkeepsie right now, and 95 also towards Bridgeport, Connecticut. So look at the radar. Shows that we're dry across the 5 boroughs, Long Island, and most of New Jersey, but we're seeing some showers forming here, coming out of Pennsylvania into central New York, and now pushing their way eastward here into northwest New Jersey and parts of the Hudson Valley. So we're getting a couple of downpours here in places like Orange and Sullivan County, north of Tuxedo Park. That is moving eastward here, and we're going to see more of these kind of blossom as we move further along through the afternoon and in the evening. It's part of a cold front that's pushing into the region that's going to continue the threat for showers and storms right through tonight. We'll have another chance tomorrow. I'll have the details coming up.
Very well. All right. Thanks, Audrey. Breaking news now. Harvey Weinstein will be tried for a third time by New York prosecutors. This time it involves the sexual assault case of Jessica Mann. She says Weinstein raped her years after she first began a consensual relationship with him in 2012. Weinstein has denied these allegations. Now, a jury was unable to reach a verdict in June after Mann accused Weinstein of sexually assaulting her. A New York judge now saying he wants this latest trial to take place before the end of the year. Also breaking, President Trump threatening very severe consequences if Russian President Vladimir Putin does not agree to stop the war against Ukraine. Those comments coming today after Trump consulted with European leaders ahead of his Alaska summit with Putin on Friday. President Trump assuring the leaders that a ceasefire was a top priority. However, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky told Trump and the leaders that when it comes to achieving peace, Putin is only bluffing. Zelensky will not be a part of Friday's meeting, but the plan is the 3 world leaders will meet at some point after that. National Guard troops on the streets of Washington, D.C. after President Trump took control of the district's police force. That move was supposed to last no more than 30 days. Now President Trump says he's looking to extend it. Fox 5's Antoine Lewis live in the newsroom with the latest at this hour. Antoine.
So, Steve, Title 32 of the U.S. Code grants the president the authority for such a move. Now, National Guard troops are on the duty, on the ground in Washington after Mr. Trump declared a public safety emergency in the nation's capital. So we're talking about 800 to 850 soldiers working alongside hundreds of federal agents and local officers who the White House says have been making arrests. Now, here locally, Trump has said that he would consider similar action in New York, which is drawing a strong rebuke from Mayor Adams, from Governor Hochul, who called it an insult to the NYPD, as crime in New York is nothing like the White House is trying to paint it. Now, again, the president can legally take over the police force for only 30 days. After that, Congress would then need to sign off. And today, Trump said he's considering a bill that would extend control beyond that.
So we're going to need a crime bill that we're going to be putting in. And it's going to pertain initially to D.C. We're going to use it as a very positive example. And we're going to be asking for extensions on that, long-term extensions, because you can't have 30 days.
Now, Mr. Trump went on to say that because the Republicans are in control of Congress, he believed that they would sign on and it would subsequently pass. Nonetheless, Governor Hochul here locally saying that calling such a move by the president would be an overreach and completely unnecessary, vowing efforts, she says, to try and prevent it. Now, Hochul did deploy National Guard troops into the subway system to combat a rise in transit violence last year. But that's the very latest from the newsroom, Stephen. We'll send things now back upstairs.
Very well.
To you.
All right. Thanks, Antoine. Also breaking today, former Governor David Paterson officially endorsing Mayor Adams as he attempts to win re-election. Paterson had endorsed former Governor Andrew Cuomo during the primary. After Zohran Mamdani came out on top, Paterson called on independents to unify against him. Here's what Paterson had to say about the mayor earlier today on the steps of City Hall.
He is an individual who is dynamic, articulate, receptive, courageous, and outspoken. And he's used all of those skills to bring the city to where it stands right now.
Meanwhile, Zohran Mamdani made a stop on Staten Island today as part of his anti-Trump 5 boroughs tour. A new Siena poll has him well ahead with 44% support in a four-way race. Andrew Cuomo comes in second in that poll. Mayor Adams comes in fourth behind Republican Curtis Sliwa. And a programming note, tune into Battleground NYC, the fight for your vote, hosted by SE Cup. We're following the latest up-to-the-minute info on the race for New York City Mayor. It streams every weeknight at 7 on the Fox local app and anytime on demand from now until Election Day. Well, the S&P 500 hitting a new all-time high today as the Dow and NASDAQ are also up in another strong day on Wall Street. Crypto also catching fire with Ethereum once again leading the way. Joining us now, Joy Yang, Head of Product Management and Marketing at Market Vector. Joy, thanks so much for being with us. So,
Thank you.
You know, you heard the intro there. Stocks on fire once again, crypto following suit. Big picture, what do you think is behind all this sudden accelerating bullishness on Wall Street?
Yeah, I think, we have two $4 trillion stocks now. Markets are on the rise. Investors are really eager to jump back into the markets and put risk on the table. And as you've just seen, we've got another 90 days to understand what's going on around the tariffs. And we're just beginning to see this is a very complicated, policy that we're trying to traverse and forecast into price. We saw with gold that things that were negotiated months ago can still cause confusion months later. So the handshake is easy, but the implementation, means that documents have to be signed, forms have to be filled out, and
are you talking about the tariffs and the trade deals, things like that, right?
So I think people are looking for something to invest in, something that's a little bit tariff immune.
Yeah.
And so we're looking at AI, we're looking at crypto, and we're seeing these stocks on the rise.
Yeah, if you did reference gold too. It's interesting. Usually they sort of are opposite of each other. Stocks are up, gold's down, but today we're seeing both are up. Gold not as much, but still.
Well, we had the little volatility in gold prices due to the tariff uncertainty earlier in the week. But now we're getting another 90 days of tariff uncertainty. So I think people still understand, although gold looks expensive, it's still, the best place to diversify your assets because we don't know where equities and bonds are going to go at this point.
Right. You think people are keeping an eye towards the future in case things go haywire quick, essentially, with the gold.
And definitely we're seeing that in crypto. You mentioned Ethereum is up quite strongly. All crypto assets. We're monitoring the crypto coin 50, which is our S&P 500 benchmark of crypto assets. That's up at all-time highs because people are looking to put risk on the table, and the catalyst for crypto has been regulatory clarity.
Right, which we do now have. And one interesting story on Wall Street that's also crypto related, the IPO of Bullish, which is that Peter Thiel-backed crypto exchange, more than doubling on its first day of trading. So certainly, as you said, there is this appetite for people to chase these outside gains.
And they're looking for anything crypto related. We had Circle, Galaxy, and now we have Bullish IPO, and it opened at 90. The IPO price was 37.
Right.
So people are looking to get into something crypto related, and that could even be traditional stocks like Robinhood, which are now branching out into crypto.
Right, they trade crypto, so that's been up as well. Just briefly, so we've seen the introduction of Bitcoin ETFs over the past year and a half. They've been a massive success. Tens and tens of billions of dollars have gone into them. When things do go the other way and we go into a bear market cycle, how do you think all of that money in ETFs is going to affect the price? Is it going to moderate and have the drawdowns be less severe, or do you think people are going to bail at the first sign of trouble and we could see those typical 80% drawdowns that we're used to?
Well, I think the interesting thing about the ETF structure is that it's bringing a very diversified, broad-based investor into this space. So they're going to have different ways of looking at what are the growth opportunities, what's their risk appetite. And we know ETFs themselves has been like a tremendous success year to date. Also, we've seen all-time highs flows into ETF structure, new active ETFs launching, and now crypto, being wrapped in the
lots
ETF
of interest
structure.
in the space, no doubt about that. Hot right now, that's for sure. Joy Yang, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, well, demonstrators rallied this morning opposing the construction of a Times Square casino. The rally comes as the Community Advisory Committee for Times Square Casino proposal held its first public hearing at Scandinavia House on Park Ave today. Demonstrators say a casino in Times Square would generate new quality of life problems for people who live there. Supporters of the casino say it will boost economic activity.
It could be a disaster for Times Square and for the many young people who come to New York who are lured and tricked into the sex trade.
The enormous benefit we have is that the building in its current state can be easily adapted from office to a world-class gaming and hospitality destination. At grade along Broadway, we have the Minskoff Theater lobby to the south, the casino lobby to the north, and in between we are working with Pace Gallery to create an interactive digital art experience that will be open to the public.
And so far, 71% of the community opposes that casino. All right, let's bring in meteorologist Audrey Puente for a look at the forecast. The humidity kicking up, and we can see there's problems off to the west.
Yeah, that heat and humidity is being combined with a cold front coming in from the west, and as a result, we're seeing showers and thunderstorms firing up here now in a line that's pretty definitive from the Capital District all the way down towards central Pennsylvania. So it is marching eastward here. Watch out for showers and storms over the next several hours as we move through the tri-state area. This cold front's going to get hung up over the northeast here tomorrow, so we're still going to leave in the chance for a couple of more showers. Here it plays out on our futurecast. We'll see that line as we just saw it blossoming across the region. It will be here for the afternoon commute and then kind of fizzle out after sunset tonight. So it'll be quiet late night. It'll be warm and muggy, and clouds will stay in place until looks like by tomorrow afternoon when we'll see a couple of more showers pop up here. Then things kind of quiet down by tomorrow night. Things will dry out also by the weekend, where we're expecting some really nice beach weather. So make your plans to be outdoors. In the meantime, today's going to be very warm and uncomfortable. We're looking at high temperatures in the upper 80s to low 90s. Factor in the humidity. It feels like the mid to upper 90s. And tonight we drop back only in the 70s. We'll have the showers and thunderstorms come to an end. It'll be cloudy overnight, and then we'll have a threat of scattered showers tomorrow, but not as widespread as today. Things get quieter by the end of the week. The weekend looks good. Plenty of sunshine with a few clouds and highs near 90 degrees. Steve?
We like that. All right, thanks, Audrey. And that's your news block for now. I'm Steve Lacey. Thanks for joining us. You can tune into the 5 o'clock news on Fox 5 right here and on Fox Local for the day's news as it develops throughout the day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.